You can't just, oh yeah, well, they're a woman, so what? Big deal. They can't do nothing. That's bullcrap.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can, and we are good at what we do.
All right. Welcome back to the next session of the Pest Playbook. I'll be your host today. My name is Abby, and we've got a special guest here. Her name is Bobbie Terry. So Bobbie Terry is the founder of the Women in Pest Control organization. So how about you take over today, Bobbie, and let us know, a brief introduction about yourself and your background of your career and how you ended up founding Women in Pest Control.
Well, I started in the business back in 1994 with Terminex up in Dallas, Texas. I was with them for a couple of years, and then I worked for Orkin for a couple of years until I found a company called Holders. I had moved to Austin in the meantime and ended up going to work for Holders and worked for them for 11 years before I started my own company back in 2013 called The Bug Lady.
The Bug Lady, nice.
Yeah. So, and of course, not looking back on that, because that was one of the smartest things I ever did was start my own company and run my own business. And then I started joining pest control groups, and I joined one called Pest Cemetery, and they have a habit of bashing women in that group, not being helpful. And I was on a conversation with a guy, and he was not being very nice to me at all. So, and there was another lady on the conversation also, and I told that lady, I said, pardon my French, but I said, screw this shit, I'm going to go start my own group. So I immediately got off of that group and went to Facebook, typed in Women in Pest Control, and created the group. And that was back in May of 2017.
2017. So there was nothing out there that was pretty.
Well, there was the National Pest Management Association has the Professional Women in Pest Management group, and they do help a lot of women, but they also allow men in that group. I wanted a group especially for women and women only, so they could talk about issues that men don't want to hear about and then would get bashed, would get criticized for it. So,
yeah.
So we did that. That's what we did. And it grew and it grew. And in January of 2019, I just put a message out to the group. How many of you ladies would like to get together for a meet and greet? And there was another lady that was helping me that was on that conversation. She became my administrator of the group and was helping with the group. And she started getting messages on Messenger, and I started getting messages on Messenger from different manufacturing reps. We got message from Janet Hurley, who's does IPM for schools with Texas A&M. And saying, what can we do to help? Let's do this. Let's get these ladies together. And the next thing we know, it's turning into a full-blown conference.
Wow.
So we held the first ever and made history all women's conference in August of 2019.
Yeah.
And we had over 100 women at that conference. There was all women attendees, all women manufacturing reps that sponsored us. And we had hired a limo to take our manufacturing reps out to dinner. I made sure the limo driver was a woman. And the hotel we had it at allowed catering. And so I got one of my accounts that does barbecue to cater it, and made sure that the servers were all women. So we literally made history with an all-women's conference back in August of 2019.
That's great. So what would you define the mission of the Women in Pest Control to be?
Well, we're helping women become more confident in their fields and to reach their goals. We also inspire ladies to become business owners. And, and if anybody needs any type of help whatsoever, no matter what it is, we're out there for them. For any type of, if they're having issues with their bosses, they're having issues in the field, they don't know what to do about different situations. We're basically there to help. We have so much knowledge in this group that there's nothing that we can't handle.
Yeah. I was looking at your website too, and it looked like you had, like different opportunities for women to get business loans or scholarship opportunities. And
yes, we've started a few. We've started some programs. We have the Evelina Empower Her Fund, which people can donate money to, and that will also help us to help. Is like a lady wanted to take an ACE exam. We sponsored a lady taking the ACE exam at the Pest World this year.
Yeah.
And so we did that. If they want to come to the conference, they can't afford it, that fund will also help them get to the conference. We also started what we call a sub program, SUB. That means startup business. If you want to start up a business, but you're not sure how to do it, you can partner with WIPC, and it's a 2-year agreement, and we can loan you up to $3,000, and you pay us back at 10% interest. And we also, for anything you need, whether it be in the office, whether it be out in the field, no matter what you need to help get your business started, we will help you get it started.
Yeah.
And
that's amazing. I mean, I feel like nowadays there's so many women that just need that extra little bit of help. Just, if they're single moms or divorced or whatnot, it's just something like that could get them in a much better spot for their future. And if they're raising.
Well, absolutely. And especially if they have kids and they need time off, it's hard to get that time off. If you're running your own business, you control your own destiny.
Mm-hmm.
You control your own hours. You control your own scheduling.
It's a lot.
You gotta really work hard in the beginning to build it up. But once you build it up, then you build it to what you want.
Yeah.
And how you want.
Yeah.
So
that's incredible. That sounds like a great organization.
At our conferences every year, we give away a business grant, and the business grant is for $2,000, and you have to qualify for it, but the $2,000 is for you to start your own business.
Wow! So not even
yeah,
that's great.
Right, and then they get a 1-year mentorship from myself and my business partner, Nanette Rhoda. So anything they need for a whole year, they get it for free.
That's amazing. And you and Nanette are both owners of your own pest control companies, right?
Yes. She owns the Praying Nantis down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Yeah.
And I own the Bug Lady here in Austin, Texas.
Wow. Well, yeah, that sounds like a great opportunity to get mentorship from both of you. So.
Absolutely. And there's other ladies out there that will help too. I mean, the group is so active that you can go in there in the group and post something. And if you want to look at it a week later, you'll be lucky to find it.
Yeah.
That's how active the group is. So, and everybody loves it.
So you have the main conferences once a year, correct? And then do you have any other events going on throughout the year?
Yeah, I actually we have recruited advocates throughout the United States. And one of the things that I started, they're called Lunch and Learns. And so what I try to do is I try to get a minimum of 6 people interested. And if I can get that many interested, which lately hasn't been a problem, because once you do it, they figure out, oh, this is great. So anyhow, then I get a manufacturing rep such as Rockwell Labs, Nisus Corporation, anybody that's willing to sponsor a lunch, and all they have to do is pay for everybody's lunch, bring their products and show their products, present them. And it's a win-win situation for everybody because the PCOs get a free lunch. They get to learn about new products, and the manufacturing reps get in front of small companies that they don't normally get in front of, and they're happy to do it. So,
all right. So, just changing gears a little bit. So, leading up to starting Women in Pest Control, you've been in the industry since the 90s. I'm sure a lot has changed since then.
Yeah.
Especially towards women. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more women in this space than there were even in the 90s. But so what kind of cultural shifts have you seen in the industry?
The cultural shifts, we're seeing a lot more women coming into the industry and a lot more actually a lot more companies wanting to hire women, because once they have women in the field, they see how meticulous we are, how detail oriented we are, and how well we can do the job. Nothing against the guys, because there are men out there that are just as fabulous as the women at these jobs. But the key to that, no matter whether you're male or female, is being passionate about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that holds true in almost any job. If you're passionate about what you do, you're going to do a good job.
Yeah.
And I've yet to find any females that once they got in this industry, they were passionate about it. They love it, and they just want to do the best they can do. So the trends are changing. I see it just from the way my group has grown. I mean, we're at over 1,700 women worldwide.
Wow. Yeah. Going from 100 at that first conference. Do you have an estimate for how many women will be at this next conference?
Well, we have limited seating, so I mean the limit's like 150. So we're hoping for that.
Gotcha.
And we're hoping we'll reach that goal. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So can you tell me what kind of impacts you're seeing among the members of the group?
They're getting more confident, and because they can get their questions answered, and they're without being judged. And a lot of women are seeing that because there's so many other women in the field, that they're not alone anymore.
Uh-huh.
There's so many women out there that are like Nanette wrote us, and when she first heard about our conference, it was after the first year. There was a big write-up in PMP magazine about our conference, and she was like, "Oh my God, there's other women in the field." And she came to the next conference, and then she's been to everyone since then. And so she was so passionate about it and so good about it. We made her our MC at the third conference. And then my business partner at that time decided she was too busy with her own company to help grow Women in Pest Control. So she stepped down, and I made Nanette my business partner.
Gotcha.
So
she filled that role.
So yeah, it's a big difference in just, from 2017 to 2019, cause 2020 killed everybody with COVID. So not literally, but unfortunately there were millions that did lose their lives because of it. But it's just grown, and it's to continue to grow. I'm always getting new people wanting to join almost daily. So what
do you feel like are the main topics that you try to cover in the conference?
Well, we try to cover different stuff each time. So we're not, we don't want people to get bored. So we try to do different things each time. We don't cover the same thing every time. So, like this year, I have a lady coming in. She's going to come in and do, IPM versus APM. We actually just added nuisance and wildlife to a division. Mm-hmm. To Women in Pest Control, because we're finding there's a lot of women in wildlife. So we have a half a day of wildlife speakers on Wednesday, and that is something that we haven't done before. We have, we usually do one wildlife speaker per conference, but this is totally different. So we have a whole half a day of wildlife speakers.
Yeah.
Last year I had a lady come in and talk about women's health. And offered, they have a clinic set up all over the United States that's owned by doctors that you can get low-cost health care. So we got that set up, for women to be able to do that.
Yeah, especially people that are trying to go out and, form their own companies and things. Healthcare is, I think, one of the biggest barriers to people, stepping out and do.
Exactly, yeah.
Even through the marketplace and.
Yeah, it makes it tough when you're working for a company and you have, benefits, and then you want to go out on your own, and now you can't afford benefits. So that was a good thing. No, it's not a health insurance policy where you can get cheap, but, like what it does is if you say you need some x-rays and it would normally be $500 out of pocket, through this clinic, it might be $200 or $250. So, you're saving a lot of money. So that was a good thing. And we try to cover, 2 or 3 different bugs each time. We have, you heard of Stephanie Stuckey?
Mm-mm.
You don't remember the old roadside Stuckey stands?
No.
Okay.
I grew up.
You're probably too young.
Maybe it wasn't a huge thing.
Well, there used to be roadside stands called Stuckies, and they were famous for their pecan log rolls and their gifts.
Familiar.
Yeah, and their travel gifts and stuff like that. And one of the gifts, and she was actually a speaker at Pest World.
Oh, wow.
Stephanie was. Yeah, she did on CEO and branding. And she was talking about the old ashtrays. And it was in the shape of a toilet and it said, "Put your butt here." Anyhow, long story short, I was at that conference and we got to meet her afterwards. And she is now going to be our keynote speaker for our conference at our awards day.
Oh, neat. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's a good idea to bring in, insight from other industries as well.
Exactly.
How they're handling things, and especially.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. We're trying to do something different all the time. It's not always the same thing. It's like, if you do the same thing consistently, they're going to oh, it's nothing different. Why go?
Yeah.
And we have a silent auction where people donate stuff and then you can bid on it. And the stuff, runs anywhere. If what we put in our silent auction is anything of value of $50 or more, and we start the bidding at like $20, so
yeah.
Some of that stuff can go really low. And we have a guy named Wildman Mark is what they call him. He's owns Get Bent Academy, and he has a 2-day course that costs $1,000, and he's given us that to put in the auction.
Oh, wow.
This time. So yeah, a lot of people are excited about that.
Yeah.
So
probably do a lot of outreach to get sponsors and things, but that's.
Yeah. And we just do giveaways when the speakers are, when we're changing speakers, we have raffle tickets and everybody gets raffle tickets, and we give away stuff through the raffle tickets. So,
but neat.
During the conference. So,
is there any success stories that you've had where you saw a real change in some of the people from your organization?
Well, just the people that we've given business grants to have started their own business. Definitely. And have very well succeeded. And before Nanette became my business partner, she actually won the business grant.
Oh, wow.
The year before she became our business partner, and she's so busy right now. She's just
that's incredible. It wasn't very long ago that she got started.
No, it was. She's had her business going now for 1.5 years.
Wow.
And she's been very, very successful at it. And then the lady that won last year, her name is Emily Cruz, and she's in Kansas City, and with Pink Pest Solutions, and she's doing very, very well.
That's exciting.
A lady that won it the year before Nanette did, Mary Branch, she's over in Louisiana, and she's very, very successful with her business too. So everybody that's won it has been successful in growing the business and making it work.
Yeah. Well, it shows their initiative too, to go out and attend the conference, and even to get to that point, it shows that they probably are the sort of people that can go out and get business.
We had one lady that, she owns several businesses. One is her pest control company, which she didn't really push real hard, but she told me and Nanette and a few other people that last year after the conference, it inspired her to start doing more with her pest control company. So she's actually grown it quite a bit since that happened too. So
that's great.
So we've had some great success stories.
Yeah. Well, they'll just keep coming too.
Yep.
Okay. So switching gears to more for company owners and leaders in other companies. So how do you think that leadership teams can create environments where women feel more included and valued? Well,
first of all, they got to recognize them. Okay. You can't just, oh yeah, well, they're a woman. So what? Big deal. They can't do nothing. That's bullcrap.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can and we are good at what we do. So, don't be afraid to recognize them. Let them know that they're doing a good job and, give them a bonus, give them something. Let them know because that's the biggest thing. And even males, they don't always get the recognition they should get. So
yeah,
it's not just females, but it seems to be that females, we get it worse. Okay. Or we don't get it or we don't get it, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying that
and in my experience,
if somebody does a good job, let them know because it's hard to find good people. And when you get good people, you've got to do something to keep them.
Yeah, definitely retention. Yeah, in my experience, I feel like I've always, in my groups throughout the years with work or college or whatever, I've always felt, just much more appreciated in groups where like there's other women in the group with me. So not necessarily like they're the boss or anything, but just not being alone in that group, having the support of each other. It's always good to help too.
Right. So, I mean, they're just like in our conference, we started out with a humanitarian award and for somebody that goes above and beyond the call of duty and does other stuff in their community. So we started that award to begin with, and then we added Technician of the Year award. And then last year we added Customer Service Representative and Salesperson of the Year award. So we now have all those awards. And, people have to be nominated for them and people get nominated for them. And then we, as a Nanette, we have one other lady that now is on staff, which is Rachel Williams, and she's in charge of our wildlife division. So the three of us decide who gets the award.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. I mean, you got to have incentives in a workplace. That's what motivates people. So
yeah. Well, and then they get a nice plaque. The humanitarian award person gets a nice plaque and $500.
Oh, okay.
And they get to come to the conference free and you get their hotel paid for.
That's exciting.
The Technician of the Year, same thing. They get to come to the conference free, get their hotel paid for, and they get $100.
That's great.
So, yeah. And we're trying to add stuff all the time. We've got some new stuff in the works that is not going to be announced till January, but if it works out.
It sounds like it's just grown so much over the last several years. So if you could choose one message that you'd like to share with the next generation of women thinking about starting a career in pest control, what would you say?
Oh, I basically would tell them don't be afraid of the ick factor. Okay, just because they're bugs, they're not icky. and remember, you're bigger than they are, and you have control over them. So and don't.
Florida have gotten much more comfortable with that.
I remember when I first got hired into this industry, the guy I was interviewing with asked me, he says, "Well, how do you think you're going to feel about being around bugs and rodents and all that stuff?" And I just looked at him. I said, "Well, I guess if I'm killing them, I'll be okay."
Right?
And he laughed. He said, "Well, yeah, I guess so."
Yeah, I'm sure.
And just don't be afraid to take that step forward because you have a world of resources through Women in Pest Control to help you in any situation whatsoever. So take that leap of faith. Let's do it.
You have the right equipment and the right things, and you shouldn't have to be too worried. So
yeah, and if you're not in a business mindset and you still want to do it, we have that sub program where we can help you. I mean, obviously, I've done well. I've successfully had my business now for 14 years, and Nanette, I mean, she's killing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
She knows what she's doing. I know what I'm doing. I've got other resources out there that'll help in any situation. So, people just take that leap of faith. Let's do it.
That's great. Okay. So, to close out, how can people get connected with you? And, if they're interested in joining the conference. The date is next July. Is that correct? For the next conference?
July 29th and 30th in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at a beautiful resort called Avista.
Oh.
And it's family friendly. You can contact Women in Pest Control by emailing info@womeninpestcontrol.com. If you want to contact me directly, my number is 512-468-9027. Or you can email me at bobbie.wipc@gmail.com, and that's Bobbie with an IE. If you want to join the Facebook group, you just type in Women in Pest Control on Facebook and answer the questions to join, and I'll approve you, and you're in.
Great. So, well, hey, thank you so much for joining today and giving us all your insight.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate that.
Yes, of course.